This week, the Texas Team Trail, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, kicks off the 2022 TXTT Championship. We're 90 miles south of San Antonio on Choke Canyon Reservoir, a 25,000-acre reservoir on the coastal plains of South Texas. Choke is a favorite among anglers, with an abundance of vegetation, deep structure, and giant Florida strain bass. But like most lakes in the western part of the state, the drought has taken a toll. At launch, the lake is 20 feet low, with no rain in sight. Regardless, here we are, the final event of the season. And what a season it's been. 4 qualifying stops with more than $330,000 in payouts. And we're not done yet. This week, we've got 81 teams fishing for a total purse worth $136,465, including a Ranger Mercury package for first and second place. In addition, we've got the points race for the Lucas Oil Team of the Year. The top 3 teams have flip-flopped for much of the season, and coming into this event, Clayton Boulware and Albert Collins have a slim advantage.
We got to go out and swing for the fences for number 1 to try to win a boat, and number 2 to try to win Angler of the Year. There's no playing conservative tomorrow.
We've got 2 days of fishing ahead under some pretty tough conditions. Welcome to the final stop of the season. It's championship time, right here on the Texas Team Trail, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Day 1 of the 2022 Texas Team Trail Championship dawned under mostly cloudy skies. It's early June. It's hot. Checking the Bass Pro forecast, we're expecting highs near or above 100 degrees. Fortunately, we'll have winds blowing 10 to 20 to make life bearable. Getting right into tournament coverage. Get on board with Albert Collins and Clayton Boulware, your current Lucas Oil Team of the Year points leaders. Cashing checks in 3 out of 4 events this season, Boulware and Collins have had a banner year.
Those AOIs are difficult to win. I feel very fortunate to be in a position we're in going in. The main reason I want to win it is where I can talk smack to Landon Ware for the rest of the year and the beginning of next year, and I hope they put that on camera.
If we get it.
If we, yeah.
Throwing buzz baits over hydrilla in 4 foot of water, Collins sticks their first of the day. At just over 14 inches, it keeps, but barely.
One of them deals you got 4 big and he'll be gold. Decent.
Minutes later, Clayton sets the hook on their second.
Make me nervous. Little rascal. If I turned over, get a better reading. 14 and a half, bro. Got 2 that weighs 2. Just they're on the edge of that mat and on those little bit scattered clumps off. I mean, we're not in any depth. We're in 4 foot of water.
Yeah, it's not light enough to really see it good, but if you could see that out there, you could see there's
some dark spots.
There's just some scattered spots of hydrilla out there that's got some open water around them, and they seem to kind of want to be around that scattered stuff a little bit more than the just thick mats.
Thing about it though, you know what I've seen, you'd be going down through here and catch them like that, and then all of a sudden, bam, catch a 4 or 5 pounder. It's just, there's no telling what the next bite's gonna be.
Moving out to deeper water, this is Charles Whited and Brendan Kennel.
It's early. Charles Whited here with my partner, Brendan Kennel. What's going on, sir? How are y'all? Man, we started shallow and it didn't work out. Caught 7 or 8 little fish and 1 keeper, and now we're on the lower end, cranking and dragging a football head and all that good stuff, looking for big mama. Lakes fishing kind of tough. I don't know if it's due to all the pressure or just it's hot down here. It's gonna be 105 today, but got a little breeze today. Maybe they'll get fired up. We just need one little school to get going. We'll be all right.
Many of the teams reported that during practice, the bite picked up as the sun got high. In the heat of summer, these Florida strain fish like to bunch up under the thick hydrilla mats. And the best way to find them are topwater frogs or punching the mats with heavy weight. If you're in the region, stop in at one of our Bass Pro or Cabela's retail stores and they'll outfit you with the tackle you need. Or shop online and they'll drop it right at your door. The Texas Team Trail is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. And by Lucas Oil and High Performance Marine Products. Coming up, we're back on the water with more from day one at Choke Canyon Reservoir and the 2022 Texas Team Trail Championship.
Trust. It comes from experience. Long seasons, short nights. Lessons learned and shared. Sometimes it's easy. But usually it isn't. Seasons come and go, and few things last. But the ones that do are the ones you trust.
Days off are best with sandy feet and smiles as bright as the sun. Those are the good days, when life slows down, and your only job is making memories that nourish your soul. Mercury engines are made for exploring. So are you. Go boldly.
At Lucas Oil, we take pride in creating problem-solving products to make your car care easier. We protect your vehicle and make it run longer so you can focus on the things that matter most. Whether it's commuting to work, visiting a loved one, taking the kids where they need to go, going to the big game, or anywhere life takes you, Lucas Oil is committed to getting you there for all of life's important moments. Lucas Oil, it works.
Back on Choke Canyon Reservoir in deep South Texas. This is day one of the 2022 Texas Team Trail Championship. We've got $136,000 on the line, including a Ranger boat for first and second place. The Lucas Oil Team of the Year is also in play, and we're down to the wire with about 15 points separating the top three teams. Getting back on the water, we'll pick it up with points leaders Albert Collins and Clayton Bulware.
Nope.
Picking up two small fish early, Bulware and Collins are keying on grass. They're getting bites, but none that matter.
Just started off throwing a buzz bait and flipping shallow hydrilla, and had one stretch of structure that Albert had found, and we made one pass through it and caught a big one. Oh! Oh, yeah. Up behind us still. We'll take that one for sure.
That's three, with plenty of time left on the clock.
And son, she ate that bait down in her throat.
Back on Whited and Kennel, fishing deep, they're mixing it up with Charles dragging a rig up front while Brendan covers water from the back. With a limit in the live well, Charles sets the hook. Oof, you can see the lure pop out, and that fish is gone.
That was a big one.
That was a good one.
Casting back to the same spot, the rig hangs up on a brush pile.
Brush monster.
That's that hard spot you want to be
Oh, I
throwing
just
your
hung
rig
up in
in.
it. It was right feeling too, boy.
There you go. Big one.
Oh my God. Stay hooked up.
You stay hooked up, you big girl. You stay hooked up.
You come here. That's Choke Canyon for you. Hey, I love netting them. I got zero problem netting. She mad, Chucky? Good job, buddy.
Did you see me? I was hung. I pulled hard as I could and it popped out of that rock. That fish ate it.
Checking the Bass Pro replay, you can see the lure break free and the line give just before the bass loads up.
Oh my God.
A real testament to the strength and durability of Sunline fishing line.
Stay hooked up. So we straighten one out. Choke Canyon is mean, and if it hangs a rock with big 25-pound Sunline, we'll bend the hook out. But them fish in here, you want to have a hook to hang on to them because they got shoulders and they mean. So anyhow, when you got two boats on the line, you don't take risks. You sit down, take a couple seconds and retie. Because I promise you, one slip up can cost you a boat. So got to keep it dialed. I tie Palomar, I'm still shook up.
Jordan Grimm and Judd Harris have fished a good year and are set up to land inside the top 10 in overall points. With a limit early, they've moved off of the bank, throwing swim baits around flooded cover. That one should cull. With an estimated 15, 16 pounds in the box and plenty of time left on the day, Grimm and Harris are in good shape under a tough bite.
Man, we're catching some fish right now. We started out shallow, inside grass edge on frog and stuff. And now we're just kind of throwing a big swim bait around, trying to catch a better one this morning.
Is it gonna do anything?
I don't think so.
Wrapping up the 2022 season, the schedule is already out for 2023. Here's a quick look at the 4 qualifying stops with the season-ending championship still to be determined. We've also got some big changes in store. Next year, only the top 75 teams in the Lucas Oil point standings will qualify for the championship. And an even bigger news, the top finisher in the Lucas Oil standings will be awarded a boat and motor combination at the end of the season, along with prizes for the rest of the top 10. To learn more or to get another look at the schedule, hit us up at TexasTeamTrail.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram for the latest event coverage and information. You're watching the Texas Team Trail, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. This segment is also brought to you by Garmin Electronics, Fight Your Fish, Not Your Fish Finder, Nitro Boats, Pro Level Performance, Mercury Marine Outboards, Go Boldly, and by AFTCO, any fish, any water. Coming up, the clock is ticking on day 1 from Choke Canyon Reservoir, right here on the Texas Team Trail, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's.
You have a full-time job and you want to be a full-time angler. Don't waste time scouting. You want to catch fish. That's where Garmin comes in. Our mapping with Navionics data lets you see more detail than the fish do. It's kind of a big deal. Oh, and our industry-leading live sonar is so crisp and clear you'll think you jumped in. You're welcome. Now, if only we had a powerful, efficient, whisper-quiet trolling motor. Actually, we do. It's called Force. We knew you'd like that. Less time finding, more time catching fish. Only with Garmin.
The best way to connect with the outdoors is to get outdoors. From setting up trail cameras and tending food plots to getting to your spot before dawn. At every point of the hunting season, a Tracker Off-Road ATV or side-by-side can be counted on to get the job done. Enjoy American-made quality and the great outdoors without breaking the bank. Tracker Off-Road, built for the love of country.
Change. It's inevitable. To improve, you must adapt. The sport is evolving. A paradigm shift is a fundamental change of basic concepts. Don't get left behind. Introducing Paradigm. Paradigm Reels by Duckett Fishing. Pro-driven.
I've made my living on the water for over 20 years.
For 14 years.
For over 23 years.
I've worn a bunch of different clothing brands over the years.
Some companies big.
And some companies small.
All of them said they were making clothing for us.
But none of them knew us.
None of them were us.
Except for one.
Except for one.
Except one.
AFCO.
AFCO.
AFCO. AFCO.
Fishing isn't part of us. It is us.
Choke Canyon Reservoir. We're 90 miles south of San Antonio for day one of the 2022 Texas Team Trail Championship. It's just past midday, and man, it's hot. 95 degrees in the humidity that only the Gulf Coast can bring. This is what August looks like, but it's early June. Getting back to championship coverage, this is Gary Martin and Gary Johnson. With 4 in the live well, they've moved shallow, trading in a 10-inch worm, fishing fast, casting up to the shore.
Okay, we're just gonna keep coming. That'll call. Good job, yeah. I think it's red. Get him down to the bottom of the boat. There's just a little bit of a drop right here. I'm not catching them up in the stick-ups, I'm catching them out away from it. Some of these places up here have little patches of grass. It's not hydrilla, I don't know what it is. Something a little bit different than that. But I'm catching them in that also. But I just, like I said, I'm not catching them in the stick-up. I'm catching them off that drop just as you come out across it. Every once in a while you'll have a stick-up that sends way out, and they'll have a fish on it every once in a while. Just covering water is basically all I do through here. And I hadn't found anything else like this.
And no, this is not, I had never been on this lake before either. It's not exactly what I expected. And I'm quite sure if the water level would come up 5, 10 foot, there would be a whole lot better fishing.
Adam Dunn and Shelby Shaw are gunning for one of the 2 boats up for grabs. With an estimated 15 pounds in the live well, with the bite as tough as it is, they're probably in good shape. Fishing slow, they're just off the shore pulling plastics. There's not a lot of structure on Choke, but there are a few road beds, ledges, and assorted brush piles that you can find on your Garmin electronics.
Hey. You know it's...
That one culls. It doesn't add a lot of weight, but they're moving in the right direction.
Every ounce counts. You know, especially this early in the day. I mean, you know, we'll cull ounces till we run into the right ones.
Now what do you got in the well? What do you need?
about 3 ounces more than we had a while ago.
Exactly. We still need to cull 2 at least. 3 would be optimal.
Aaron Freeman and LaMarcus Johnson just caught one that mattered. Pushing 8 pounds, this size of fish is not uncommon here.
Turn around a bit.
Either way, it fills out their limit and pushes them up near 16 pounds unofficially.
Our plan was, and I'll kind of summarize, we got here Wednesday night, or I did. I had a pretty good Thursday fishing for practice. Aaron had a good one when he got in late, but yesterday was terrible when we were fishing. In fact, I think I had 1 fish all day yesterday in practice, and I think he had maybe 1 or 2. So we were a little nervous coming out here, but our plan was to get 5 early.
The key is to, catch your better quality fish in the first couple hours,
and we were fortunate enough to catch that bigger fish, fairly early in the morning. And I think it's going to get harder as the day goes on, and I think tomorrow will be even tougher, especially with the pressure of today. The lake's fishing pretty small since it's down so low. But we're just going to keep our heads down. We knew we'd be in for a grind, and we're just going to keep hammering.
Keep up with the Texas Team Trail on Facebook and Instagram, and we'll keep you up to date on the latest news and information. Plus, you can check out some of the great work from our photographers and field correspondents. This portion of the Texas Team Trail presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's is also brought to you by TH Marine, from transom to trolling motor. Triton Boats, the driving force of performance fishing. And by Sunline, the strength to guarantee confidence. Coming up, we're headed to the Day 1 weigh-in from the 2022 Texas Team Trail Championship, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's from Choke Canyon Reservoir.
Born in Japan, using technology, innovation, and precision, Sunline produces the widest selection of fishing lines at the most technologically advanced line factory in the world. Manufactured at the strictest tolerances to produce victories at the highest levels of tournament bass fishing. From household names like Christie, Swindle, and Cruz, to young guns like Cook, Logan, New, and Welcher, they all trust Sunline to take them to the top of the leaderboard. Choose the line that will give you the strength to guarantee your confidence. Sunline.
Things you let me see. Things you let me see.
Trust. It comes from experience. Long seasons, short nights. Lessons learned and shared. Sometimes it's easy. But usually it isn't. Seasons come and go, and few things last. But the ones that do are the ones you trust.
Day 1 competition from Choke Canyon Reservoir in the 2022 Texas Team Trail Championship presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's is in the books. Checking the numbers, 76 out of 84 teams brought in a 5-fish limit, and 98% of those fish were released healthy and alive back into the lake. Checking in on the Lucas Oil Team of the Year contenders.
Clayton Bullware and Albert Collins with a 5-bass limit.
Points leaders Clayton Bullware and Albert Collins ended the day in 24th, weighing 5 for 17.53.
We had one of those days. We missed a couple of fish that would have been key for us, but hey, tomorrow's another day, so we're just gonna go out and swing.
Gary Kennard and Rick Scott are 16th with 18.61. And Russell Lee and Landon Ware wrapped up their day in 5th, weighing 22.28. The Big Bass Award pays $405 this week, and we had a good run of fish taking their shot until Dusty Frank dropped this one on the scales for $11.58.
That big bass was awesome. We were out in about 20 foot of water cranking and on a little hard spot, and man, she loaded up and was on there, and just came right up to the boat. Kind of didn't fight a whole lot, came in kind of easy, and we just spent the rest of the day taking care of her, basically.
Checking the top 3, Kurt Luker and Jason Stovall will launch day 2 and 3rd after dropping their 5 for 24.53.
Congrats, man.
It was good. Steady all day, just stayed offshore, threw a big worm all day.
Try to stay hydrated.
Brian Cotter and Kyle Judd wrapped their day in 2nd with 25.30.
We started off shallow and stuck to moving baits early, and got one big lucky bite. It was at 8:32, and had some pretty steady action all day long, catching them off a little bit of grass, a little bit of rock. Tried deep for a little while, didn't really work out, but yeah, had pretty steady action all day long.
And sitting on top of the field, this is Shane Campbell and Wyatt Frankens.
We've got a 5-bass limit, 5 alive. Total weight today, 25.36 new leaders.
It's kind of an all-day thing. It wasn't really an early deal. I mean, it was kind of
slow and steady throughout the day. That we didn't have just one particular spot or one area. We had to jump around, and thankfully it worked out.
Yeah, we were surprised to get on something this morning that, you know, being such a small lake, and a lot of good guys, they find everything out here. They're good fishermen, so we were fortunate to get on that and got our first big fish, you know, 5-6 pounder off of that. That always puts you in the right mood to kind of relax and fish the rest of the day.
Checking the top 10 on the Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's leaderboard, Campbell and Frankens have the edge, while further down in 5th place, Russell Lee and Landon Ware take the advantage in the Lucas Oil Team of the Year standings. Join us next week when we launch Day 2 of the 2022 Texas Team Trail Championship from Choke Canyon Reservoir. The overall championship and the Lucas Oil Team of the Year are all at stake, along with $136,000 in total purse.
A lot of money at stake, a lot of really good anglers. If you want to test your skills against some folks that are really high-level fishermen, this is the place to do it.
For schedules and registration, TexasTeamTrail.com. For the best selection of gear, tackle, and electronics, hit up BassPro or Cabela's.com. And for the best in boat care, Lucas Oil and Marine has you covered. That'll do it for this week. We'll see you next time when we close out the season, right here on the Texas Team Trail, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's.